year of games with
Terrible
Ruben Amorim.
performance.
During that time, we've had some lows. Obviously, Europa League
Yeah.
final, Grimsby, but that is up there. Just in terms of maybe not the level of embarrassment, but in terms of you played against 10 men for pretty much the majority of the game against a team in Everton. They don't win at Old Trafford. David Moyes doesn't win at Old Trafford, not as Everton manager, and we've lost. And that is a honestly, truly shambolic performance. Absolutely awful.
Terrible.
That
Terrible.
is right up there. That is absolutely diabolical. And it's not even the point of like, Amorim out, or this, that, and the other. Every single person involved with Manchester United today should hang their heads in shame, because whether it's Amorim, whether it's the players, awful. There is no excuse.
Shit.
It's like the Grimsby one in the sense of you're playing against 10 men, you're at home. There is no excuse to lose this game. None. And Everton, hats off to them, because they deserve the win. They've got exactly what they deserve, which is 3 points. 11 men or 10 men, they deserve the win. But United should be absolutely embarrassed. Amorim, the players should be embarrassed. That is awful. Absolutely awful. I'm sick and
terrible.
tired.
Terrible performance. And you know what? I think we was talking about it. I think that's one of the worst performances I've seen. And I'm going to tell you why. It's one of the worst performances I've seen because of the context around the loss. You know, you can lose games. You know, you can have players that, you know, commit fouls and it's a red and whatnot. And you get that in football. But when the team goes down to 10 men, right, early, like very early, right?
But 0-0 as well.
0-0. And they are the better team. They score and then one of the worst performances under Amorim. Amorim, he should have made the changes sooner, I think. But looking back at it, would that have made any major difference? Who knows? I don't think it would have. I'm just in the camp of thinking, do you know what? We went 5 games unbeaten. We've lost the 6th. Fuck it. Put it to the back of your mind because we've got Palace. Literally, this game, just throw it away. Just whatever. We lost, whatever. And try and learn from it and move forward because look, momentum is a strong thing in football, and our momentum got absolutely stunted today. Absolutely stunted today. I think every single player on the pitch wasn't great. Ahmad, he tried. Xerxes had a couple of half chances, but we gave the ball away time and time again. Silly, cheap fouls when we didn't need to. Making the wrong decisions. We couldn't thread 2 passes together for large parts of the game. Looked very disjointed. There wasn't any real cohesion from what we've had in the last few games. Poor performance from Manchester United. Poor performance all the way around. And it'd be interesting to see what Amorim does say. But going forward, he does need to learn a bit quicker and adapt because having that flat back 5 when we're at home is diabolical work. It is diabolical work.
And this is when we're talking about, you know, possibly qualifying for Champions League or European football or what have you. Again, if you play like this, you're putting performances like this, you don't deserve it. Again, it's another level of embarrassment. And actually, you know what? It kind of felt like to me that these players, because they hadn't lost the last 5 games, they started to believe their own hype a little bit. Like we said, going into this game, we probably unnecessarily so wrote off Everton or beat Everton at home because their record's shit and they're not great, Everton. And we just thought, oh, we'll roll them over. We'll roll them over. We'll stroll around. We'll pass the ball around and we'll roll them over. And you can't do that, particularly when you, again, like you said earlier on, we're an average team. We're not great. You've got to put the work in. You've got to put the effort in. You've got to take control of your passes. Our passing at points, there was awful. You can't even win first and second balls. Gary Neville pointed out on commentary, and let's be honest, Gary Neville, he was on one this evening. But, you know, he was right when he says, like, they're down to 10 men. We're playing at points of flat back 5, and you still can't even win a first and second header. And that isn't even necessarily like a tactical thing. That is just, you're looking at the players going, where's your pride? Where's your pride? Win a header. You know, don't make sure you get embarrassed by 10 men. Everton, you know, you've had pretty much the whole game against 10 men. You still couldn't score a goal, let alone, you know, like draw or win the game. You couldn't even score a goal. Just awful. And like I said, it's not even, I think, you know, a Ruben in, Ruben out, because I'm kind of done of every single game being a referendum on him and he's not going anywhere. But this is like, this again, it's proper. Like some of the players awful. That is, like you said, it's right up there in terms of worst performances under Amorim. It's shocking.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocking.
Shocking. And you know what? I think this defeat actually kind of showcases a lot of the issues that we already know that were pre-existing. And I think over the last 5 games, not that they weren't there, but I think, you tend to forget when things are going good. We do tend to forget as fans when things are going great. Casemiro for me was poor today. Poor. For we and it's crazy because at the top of the show we were saying how important he is to Manchester United, and he is, but this game in particular, this one-off game here, he was absolutely poor. And you can see why Bruno shouldn't be in central midfield, because he's not a central midfielder. So he's prone to be making mistakes. He doesn't really know that position as well as he knows, obviously, number 10. Obviously, we're just trying to fit him in because it's Bruno. But you can see where the improvements in this team need to come from. You can see the left wing back, Dorgu, again, poor today. Dalot didn't even do too much greater than him. So left wing back is a position that needs strengthening. The middle of the park needs strengthening. Do you know what I mean? And, oh, man, that was such a shit performance in every way imaginable, where you look at it and you're like, you've been given an absolute gem of a lifeline, an absolute gem early on at 0-0. And you're thinking, right, okay, I was happy. You saw me rubbing my hands together. I thought, okay, let's turn the narrative of this game around, because if he would have gone and scored 3 or 4, we would have been in jubilation right now, Owen. But it's ended been 1-0 to Everton. They've given Moyes a win. It's fucking diabolical. Amorim has got blood on his hands today also. I really think he does. But he's not in it alone. We can't just point at the manager. The players really, really were poor today. Every last one of them. Mbumo weren't that great. Ahmad, he was trying a lot of different things, but still weren't that great. Alexi Hoffman weren't that great. So, look, all round, you can't point the blame in one direction. I guess the manager's going to get the flack because of that back 5, and rightly so. Rightly so. If we're going to be fair, rightly so, he should get flack for that. But we've got to pick up for the next game, because we can't afford to be down in the dumps and let this fester, and the press and the narrative. We've got to stick together at this time.
And that's the thing I was just about to say. That's really annoyed me as well, is because with that performance and that result, you just fuel the conversation even more, because now the conversation once again is going to be about the formation, about back 3, back 5, about, actually, at Man United, is it even working with Amorim, blah, blah, blah. And we felt like we were just getting away from that. We were just getting away from being on the same page and sort of going, all right, cool, we're going in the right direction. We haven't lost, blah, blah, blah. And look, we're going to lose games. But now the narratives and the conversation is going to open up again. Is that even going to work? Because you couldn't be a 10-man Everton side. And let's be honest, like you said, we didn't start the match good either. We had hoped that, we've started the match poorly, but Everton have gone down to 10. Right, we'll wake up a bit, or Everton will back off, we'll get the win. But it's just, we've got a load of super chats to get to. Item Panda says, if only we had a 10 that I recently scored a hat trick, move him up. David G says, Amorim out. His structure and bringing on Dalot left back made no sense. Everyone dropped points around us, and he's had his pants pulled down again. C1 Chaos says, it's Thanksgiving this week, boys. Remember to always stay grateful. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for my health, for my family, for Asher, who's now asleep. I wish I was asleep. Not thankful for this team. They're shit.
Absolute shit.
What about you, DJ?
Thankful for just my family, friends, and thankful for you guys in the community. We need to stick together at these times.
Answer.
Good question.
Yeah, good answer. All Elite says that was diabolical from everyone, but Ruben has serious questions to answer. 5 at the back against 1 centre forward all game. Pardon, no ideas afterwards. And by the way, All Elite as well. 5 at the back against 1 centre forward all game, and that centre forward dominated as well. Won the most headers of any player in a match in the Prem this season. It's ridiculous. Nathan says, sack him tonight. For the last 3 games, we have dropped unnecessary points. I don't trust this manager nor the players. Fans are negative for a reason. And you know what as well, when you talk about narratives, so we talk about being 5 unbeaten. Now we've lost tonight. That turns into 3 without a win, because we haven't won our last 3 games.
Yep.
And that's the problem again. Exactly. The perception changes. Hussein says, I've always been Amorim out, even when we were winning. Stayed with a back 5 until minute 85. Criminal. RK says, this is what you fans deserve for hyping this guy up after 3 wins. Ruben is the worst manager, and I kept saying this all year long. Nothing will change till he's sacked. Don't worry, sing his name more. See, this is what I was just saying, DJ. The narrative has started again. The conversation now is right back opened up. David G says we bring on Dalla left wing back, horrendous substitution. Danny DeVito has been around for 30 months, is absolutely sick to death of this team. Every week, toothless performances. Players like Bruno getting away with generational stinkers. Yet again, he was awful today, Bruno. He was absolutely shocking.
He was really bad. Yeah.
Jason says the standards at this club is in the bin. Apparently, Real Madrid want to sack Alonso, and they are top of the league. I mean, and the thing is now, I mean, this is the danger, isn't it, of when we were talking about this during the international break of the whole, we've got Man United, got the easiest fixtures. Remember that? We've got the easiest fixtures coming up. I don't care how easy our fixtures are. If we play like that, we will not win any of them, right? Yep, you cannot play like that in the Premier League against anyone, regardless of how easy the game is. We got to go to Palace on Sunday. And I don't know, maybe it's in keeping with this United team that they might actually end up getting a result there, which will even make this one even more annoying. But maybe that's very wishful thinking, because if they show up and do a fraction of what they've done this evening, Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner, Mateta will take the piss out of them, and deservedly so. By the way, I keep getting this. Everton had 10 men this evening, 10 men from the 17th minute, and we got worse. They went 1-0 up after.
Absolutely shambles. Honestly, like that's why it's one of the worst ones. That's why, context of the game. Terrible, man. Everyone's got blood on their hands. All them players. It isn't just on Amrin. I know Amrin's gonna get the flack, and rightly so, as I said before. But every last mate, poor, like not even poor De Ligt was trying. He was trying.
Couldn't win a header. Couldn't even win a header.
Anything. Barry wasn't giving him anything, nothing. Do you know what I mean? Top performance from their goalkeeper and top performance from their centre forward. But we were just so shit today, all round shit. The boys need to have a look at themselves tonight. Honestly, they do.
Asa says you're making all kinds of excuses for this despicable manager. We were set up poorly. Why play so deep against 10-man Everton? Ineos does not have standards. Well, he's not. Put it this way, he's not going to go anywhere. If with like a result like this, like I said, it's in keeping with the Grimsby one or the Europa League one. Amrim's not going to go anywhere to the end of the season. And this is where we are fortunate the league's so tight. If we did say and go beat Palace on Sunday, we'll be back in amongst it again. And it'll be like, oh, that was annoying that we lost to Everton. That's what it will be. But it doesn't take away from the frustration about it. Of course it does.
Yeah, and I remember I remember Ollie, when he was at United, he used to say fire margins, and at the time we kind of laughed about it and whatnot. But think about it, in the games that we've dropped points when we drew, I think it was like 2-3 games on the bounce, we were in winning positions. If we went on and won those games, the narrative would be very, very different. Yeah. So it can change at the drop of a hat. Literally, it can change. And look, I always think defeats, take lessons from them, because then you can say, do you know what, next week we're not making it happen again. And we need to go out and we need to go and do the business against a really, really tough team. So who knows? Maybe it's going to draw something out of the players. Going to Palace. Palace is a tough place. It's my local down the road. Like, it's tough. It's going to be tough. But, we just got to stick together right now. Do you know what I mean? Every week it's going to swing. The pendulum's going to swing. You know what I mean?
Super Chat says, everyone said reactionary. Weeks without talking about formation. Suddenly it's back. Well, because again, we've added, like I said, we've added fuel to the fire. That's the problem with it, because it's not a good look when you're 1-0 down at home against 10 men, and when they take a goal kick, the image on the screen is 5 red shirts completely flat in a row like that. That just can't be tolerated. That can't. You know what I mean? So it naturally is going to bring back the discussion. I take your point in the sense of, like, it's not, we lost the match because of formation. We lost the match because we can't pass the fucking ball. You know what I mean? So there are maybe more basic things than that, which are fair. But at the same time, you can't. I don't think you can describe that as, people that are upset with this performance, this result, and talking about the major flaws in today's game as reactionary, because first of all, you got to react to the match. Second of all, so, you know what I mean? When they're talking about the match that's just finished, they're probably going to be quite reactionary because they've got to react to what's just happened. But Yeah, and it also says players couldn't beat their first man with 90% of the crosses. Then again, that's true, but it's still just like, it's shocking. Zach Tech says, guys, have you noticed you can tell in the first 5 minutes which United is going to show up tonight? We got the criminals. Again, what's wild is it's kind of remarkable how little impact the red card actually had on the game. The red card made zero difference, like none. Like Everton, I mean, you can maybe turn in terms of like statistics, yeah, but in terms of the overall game, it went like Everton started off the better team, the red card happened, and then Everton was still the better team. Nothing changed in that regard. We didn't deserve it. Everton deserved to win pre and post red card, and that shouldn't be possible. And James says, it's okay, guys. The Toffees are ahead of Liverpool. Enjoy it. Ha, ha, ha. LOL. I mean, DJ, where do we go from here with this?
We just got to go forward. We just have to go forward. I think, too much in the past, we've dwelled in the negativity. I think a lot of everyone in the community, they've got, they want to do inquests into the formation and why Amorim kept it 5 at the back. And yeah, I think those are valid points, but he's not going anywhere. So we're going to talk about it now. We're going to be upset about it. We just have to support the team and move to the next game. I was an Amorim out. And for a little while, he did show me that there is something to this team. There is something. But look, there was always going to be setbacks. Was we going to go the whole season undefeated? Hell no. Of course we wasn't. We was going to lose games. But it's just in the manner of which we've lost today is what's unforgivable. So, look, we lost against Arsenal. There wasn't really that much of an uproar because we was on top a lot of that game. And it is what it is. But losing today in the way we did was absolutely diabolical. It's unforgivable. And dare I say, it cannot get any worse next week. This week. It can't this week. It can't get any worse because we've got a tough team. And we just need to be behind the boys. And Amorim needs to have a reset. I'm pretty sure he's going to watch all the tape he needs to. We just got to make the right decisions again. We barely played any proper football today. It was absolutely just shit, abysmal. It was just poor all the way around. Yeah, just all around. Shit. Poor. Bruno's poor. Everyone's poor.
Skiliano says here, he says, end the season now. I'm too tired to go on. Yeah. But you know what it is? Yeah. That's what I'm like. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of and it's like I said earlier on, it's not even like a Ruben in, Ruben out thing. I'm just tired of seeing those kind of performances or just having the discussion about the manager or players or we can't pass it. It's just the same, isn't it? And we talk about a year of Ruben and it has just been the same. It's just, and even Everton as well, they had more energy than us today as well, running around, didn't get tired.
Ball, second ball,
10 men.
Yep, first ball, second ball, they covered ground better than us. And as I was saying before, it kind of highlighted, our issues that we do have in this team. Cass, terrible today. Bruno, equally as terrible today. Do you know what I mean? I think if Cass was on a yellow, Bruno should have gone off as well. Like, I'm just being completely honest. He offered nothing today. Yeah. Didn't do anything, really. But look, we have to go again not next week, this week. Playing, was it Saturday game?
Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be Sunday. So
Sunday midday against Crystal Palace.
Just got to go again, Owen. And I know it's a tough game, but sometimes these tough games brings out the fight. I mean, we need to play better than we did because Palace will just turn us over. So, mate.
And if you thought I was miserable this evening, yeah, I'm going to be operating on that game on like 2 hours sleep. It's Survivor Series and not before. I don't even know. Honestly, I might just go to sleep on stream. I might just sleep.
Well, I'm available for that one as well, man. And obviously our streaks come to an end. It's come to an end, though.
I know.
It's come to an end.
Eras come to an end.
Yeah, they do. But hopefully we can go on another one. Hopefully we can go on that. Let's hope this is just like an anomaly. Let's hope it's an anomaly. How do I say that word again? Anomaly. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. It's too late. Anyway, big up DJ. Appreciate you. DJ will be back on the next match for you, and we'll get our run going again. It's gonna be all right.